Guys, ammunition for this video has been provided by Browne Works, Inc., manufacturer of fine custom handgun grips. If you guys are looking for very unique, very customized handgun grips for your favorite handgun, contact Mark at Browne Works, Inc., link in the description below, and create something beautiful for your favorite handgun. And don't forget to tell them Wyoming Gun Project sent you. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have a very cool HK P8 A1 to show you. Now, this is a brand new pistol that I purchased myself, like all of the guns I have reviewed up to this point on the channel. And this one is actually a German Bundeswehr pistol. So it's basically a USP with a few changes that the German army wanted. So this is the packaging that you get it in. HK, no compromise. Remember, HK hates you, although maybe they don't if they're bringing in cool guns like this. Maybe HK is starting not to hate us so much. So you get the nice cardboard box. Yes, I did purchase this from this place. They put a sticker in everything you buy. You get an HK sticker, Heckler and Koch. And before you say anything in the comics, it is Koch, by the way. HK. You get this nice little bag that it comes in. All right, we'll set these by this over here, these cardboard boxes by the side, and we'll just take a look at what you get in your bag. So you get your customary, there it is right there, dumb bicycle lock. You get HK USP series manual, and you get this little certificate. So let's read this little certificate real quick before we get into the gun. So, Heckler & Koch USA. This certificate certifies that the P8 A1 pistol imported by HK USA from HK Germany, so this pistol is from Deutschland, is an authentic and original product of Heckler & Koch. So this is your certificate of authenticity. The P8 A1 pistol is a standard sidearm of the German Armed Forces, or Bundeswehr. The P8 is based on the HK USP, Universal Self-Loading Pistol, handgun, which was adopted by the Bundeswehr in 1994. The P8 A1 has a unique configuration specifically for the Bundeswehr. These changes include translucent magazines, a reverse safety decocker lever, down indicates safe and up indicates fire. We'll take a look at that. That is true. The opposite of the standard USP, and the S and F letters are printed onto the frame instead of on the lever. Further, the P8 A1 has a traditional lands and grooves barrel instead of polygonal or polygonal, however you like to say it, polygonal barrel. This certificate guarantees the authenticity that each P8 A1 pistol has undergone testing and quality control to ensure reliability and performance in accordance with Heckler & Koch's high standards. Thank you for choosing HK USA and our commitment to excellence in firearms. Michael Holley, CEO. All right, so you get the certificate of authenticity with your gun. Now, only a limited number of these were brought into the country, and that certificate kind of proves it. You get a little, I don't know what this is. I think it goes on the rail like that, so it could be like HK, you know. But there you go. You get your 2 magazines. You get your pistol in this bag, and you get this little hanger thing. Let's set all this to the side, all the extras that you get. And now we get to the pistol. All right. Here it is, and they were not lying. It is basically a USP, but the markings are a little different. P8 A1. Like they discussed, safe is down, fire is up. You do get, I think these are 15 shot, 2 15-shot translucent magazines. This is chambered, of course, in 9mm NATO because Germany is a part of NATO, and this is a German Army pistol. You do get these, I don't know if they're night sights. They're kind of like a yellowish translucent paint in the sights. It is not cut for an optic because military still pretty much, I know you're going to say, yeah, but the P320 has, but they're not issuing optics out to every soldier. They're still using irons. It's got the paddle release magazine. My understanding, this is a German pistol, what would be sent to Germany, minus the import. You probably have to, yeah, you have to have import marks to get it into the States. But other than that, this is a German Army pistol. And what they changed, the biggest change on here was the safety, as they discussed. You know, it says HK P8A1 right there, P8A1. Does it say on the other side? No, it is blank right there. HK 9x19 millimeter. This is a double single action pistol. So you would ask yourself, why would the German Army switch up this lever on the USP? And to show you the difference, to actually show you, not just read it to you, here is my HK USP 45. So as you can see, safe and fire is printed on the safety lever. Okay, safe is up, much like a 1911. Down is fire, and then that is, we'll show you, all the way down is decock. So you could carry it. You could carry it cocked and locked like a 1911 if you want. I wouldn't recommend it, but that's just me. And then you just sweep the safety off and fire. You can decock it and carry it double action first shot with the safety off, or double action first shot with the safety on. Now, I think they did this, and there's a line to indicate where it's either safe or fire. I think they did this because these are very modular and swappable, and you can buy different internals and safety stuff and sweep the levers, you know, switch them to either side, safe and fire, and all that other kind of stuff. This one, not so much necessary. But why did they switch? Well, to demonstrate that for you, we have this gun. Now, this is a P1. This one's actually marked P38. This aluminum frame one, though, that they would later go on to call a P1, which is the first pistol to be adopted by the post-war German Army and police force. The P1, it goes all the way up to the P8, P9. You know, they might have I think they, at this time recording this video, they have adopted the P10, I think, P10C from CZ. I'm not sure about that. If you guys know, leave the comments down below. But they pretty much wanted to stay with the manual of arms, okay, with this safety. So as you can see on this pistol, the P1, the safety is down. It is on safe. You flip up, it is on fire, okay? Same thing with here. On safe, flip up, it's on fire. So they wanted to keep the same manual of arms, which is kind of, I mean, there were 6 pistols in between, or 7 pistols in between this one. P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, until we got this one. P7 is the squeeze cocker. So there were 6 pistols in between this one and this one of all kinds of different varying things. And this one, you know, is the one with the safety, kind of like a Beretta, where it pops up on there, you know. So that's the reason I understand that they kept the safety like that. So yeah, it's pretty much a double single action Browning tilting barrel, you know, and this one is brand new, unfired. So we are going to go out and bust its cherry. We're going to fire the first rounds today out of the cool translucent magazines when we get out the range. So let's get a weight, let's get a trigger pull, and then we'll just get out to the range and see how it shoots. Okay. So unloaded is 25.51 ounces, and with the factory supplied translucent magazine, 27.35 ounces. Let's get this out of here. Let's get a trigger pull, see if we can do that. And hopefully my trigger pull gauge is cooperating today. It is, it looks like. All right. So let's decock it and see what kind of trigger pull we can get on this. 13.40. I got to decock it every time because that's how you would actually get the trigger pull. Let me restart this. Oh, look at that. I just had it on safe. So, all right. 12.78. Remember to put it on fire here. 1306. So you're right around 13 pounds for the first pull-on double action. Now let's try the single action. 6.04. 4.76. 5.40. So it's probably about 5.5 pounds if I had to guess. So there's your take up right there. You start taking, retracting the hammer. It stacks pretty, it's not great. It does stack though. And then the single action here would be your reset and then a little bit more take up to the wall. And then it fires. Not the greatest double action, single action trigger I've ever felt out here. Probably won't notice the difference out on the range. But, and also I have seen some channels and reviews where, and we'll talk about it out in the range maybe, where the manual of arms of a lot of American pistols will sweep the safety off, not up. And when they fire, they'll, under recoil, they'll accidentally sweep it on. We'll see if that happens out on the range, because the way we high thumbs grip, a lot of us Americans shoot. That's the way I shoot. So we'll keep an eye out for that stuff on the range. But yeah, let's just take it out to the range and see how this bad boy shoots. So once again, we find ourselves back out on the range for the live fire portion. This time with the HK P8A1 Bundeswehr pistol. This is, again, as discussed in the tabletop, the German service pistol as of just recently, or I believe they adopted the CZP-10F. This is the HK. So we have some ammunition, some 115 grain Winchester white box graciously provided by Mark at Browne Works Inc. Link you know where if you're interested. I dig these two translucent magazines. They are 15 shot. I know nowadays that's like, will get you killed in a gunfight, but that's what the German army uses. Guys, this is a German army pistol made in Germany, imported by HK USA. Okay, these are the very first shots out of this pistol, brand new. We're just gonna see how it shoots. We have the customary steel at about 21 yards. And we're just gonna fire it up. We're gonna see if we're gonna, you know, pay attention to the safety system, this reverse like USP safety system, see if it makes any difference, positive or negative. But again, very first shots. Let's just see how it shoots, man. I mean, it shoots like a USP. What, I mean, this so far, first magazine did not affect my grip and holding it. As long as I don't press down hard on it like a 1911, just kind of rest it there, more put my thumb more on my support hand than on the safety itself, should be fine. But let's just keep shooting. So this is actually not that bad. It's not as bad as some people might think. I think it's a training issue. It's kind of reverse of what a lot of the guns in America that have thumb safeties, it's usually sweep down, almost all of them, especially modern ones. But it's just a training issue. If you're able to flip it up, and I'm sure as your holster, we're gonna try it. I'm sure as you're drawing from the holster, if you come down and sweep it off like a Beretta 92, you know, you can get used to shooting this gun, but it shoots fantastic. Okay, folks, initial shooting impressions. I mean, it's a USP. If you're used to shooting a USP, it's a USP with the small minor changes discussed in the tabletop. The biggest one, of course, being the safety, which I so far have not had any issues with it. It's a training issue, but no issues, man. But this is, again, I'll reiterate it, a German Bundeswehr, the German Army's standard pistol. I believe, again, they just adopted the P10C or P10F, excuse me. But it's probably take a few years for that to get in full circulation across the entire army. So they'll still be using this for years to come. So, but it shoots great. Let's just keep shooting it. Live fire portion of this review, got the HK P8A1. We got 5 rounds, that same 115 grain Winchester red and white box. We got a USPSA target. We have a 3-inch shoot and see. I'm gonna go back 7 yards. I'm gonna fire 5 rounds at that shoot and see just to see how accurate this pistol is. So let's shoot it. Here we go. Legendary HK accuracy. Seems like it's shooting a little left. That could be me. The sight could be a little bit left, but with that group, I don't know. It seems like the pistol. But that last one, I was trying so hard. I know I was going to flub it. I was like, oh my God, there's 4 in that ragged hole. I was like, come on, number 5. But that's awesome accuracy, especially for a military pistol. So let's go and get the final thoughts. Okay, folks. So before we go get final thoughts, let's just see how fast we can shoot this pistol. I have 5 rounds in the magazine. Now I don't want to mess up that nice group. So I'm gonna aim below the shoot and see and between the bottom of the A zone line there. So we're at roughly 7 yards, which is the average distance for a defensive shooting. So at the side of the buzzer, I'm gonna fire 5 rounds as fast as I can. First shot double action. Matter of fact, we have the safety on. So I will be disengaging the safety before I shoot. I just want to see practically about how fast I could put 5 rounds on the target. So let's holster. Safety is still on. Okay. Yeah, and it's going to be, and then I'll show you the group, and then we'll go and get the final thoughts. So here we go. Did I start the timer? No. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Let's reholster. And I'll take a shot. I definitely pulled that last one. Boy, you would think that would be... So it's all still in the A zone as fast as I could shoot it. These were the first 4 shots, and that was the last one. You would think that would be the first double action one, but as far as I saw, I have to go back and review the video. That was like the last shot. I don't know. I pulled it. But now, let's go and get the final thoughts. Final thoughts on the HK P8A1 Bundeswehr pistol, the German Army pistol. It's HK, man. It's no compromise, right? It's fantastic. All right. Now, I know somebody, because I've already seen comments on a short I dropped. Oh, you're spending money on it's basically a USP. Yes, if you don't care about it being the Army pistol and you complain about this and all that other kind of jazz, go buy a USP. You could probably save a couple $100 by buying a USP, a run-of-the-mill USP. Practically speaking, it's probably the way you should go, especially if you're used to controls like that. But if you like cool collectible stuff from the German Army and other armies, stuff like this is basically like the Beretta 92 FS and the M9. They're essentially the same gun, few small differences, just like this. But if you're one of those people that would rather buy a Beretta 92 FS and then an M9, you don't care that it has military lineage, go for it. I say the same thing with that USP. But if this is something that you're into, I think this thing is super cool, man. It's fantastic. It shoots just like a USP. I did not have any problems with that safety at all. But I also carry and shoot a lot of Berettas. Now, this is a G model, though, so it springs up. But, you know, I came up in the Army with the Beretta. So it's not... It's a training. With like a lot of guns, it's a training issue. How long it takes you to train into it or around it depends on you. But I didn't have any issues of accidentally. I've seen some videos where people were shooting it and they're accidentally engaging it and stuff like that. I had no issues whatsoever. Like I said, on a 1911, I will bear down hard on that safety and help use it. I just move my finger out, put more of it, my thumb on my support hand than I do hard on the safety. And even then, it's in this position, it's really hard with my support hand in the way to engage that safety. So I didn't have a problem with it at all. Of course, it's reliable. It's HK, man. HK has already built a legacy of building very reliable, very accurate, very expensive handguns. And this one falls into that, but the accuracy is just flipping amazing. Yeah, so there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.